I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Hey, I'm so excited to be back. So, listen, here we go. It's been a minute. It has been a minute. So, I'm excited to be back, as you can tell. Um, let's go. Let's get this party started again. Let's give it another whirl. Hopefully, this whirl will be a little better. But let me go ahead and tell you how it's kicked off, okay? So, I'm I'm recording a YouTube episode, but I'm also going to share it on the podcast. So some will be watchers and listeners, and some will just be listeners. Either way, perfectly fine. But here's the deal, I bought this super cute little headset, and it even had the little microphone attached, like they use in drive through, It made me think of Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. And I've tried and tried, and I can't get it to work. So we're off to a good start. I don't care, though. I don't care. Nothing's going to stop me. I do have some things I want to get in place, but I decided we're just going to tweak it as we go. Now, my prayer is, and this is not a joke, I really am praying, that someone will want to get involved with me on a volunteer basis, because it's all volunteer, and they'll want to do the tech side and the editing side of this. Someday that'll happen, right? In the meantime, enjoy the ring light right here and the lighting. I don't know. Is the lighting good? I don't know, but I don't care. I'm not going to wait any longer, because if I keep waiting and I keep planning, I have literally 3 notebooks, plan. I'm never going to just do the thing. And so I'm going to just do the thing. I'm doing the thing afraid. I'm doing the thing imperfectly. I'm doing the thing and learning along the way. So I'm glad y'all are here. You can do the thing with me. Let's go. So I did write some notes down. Because I'm a little rusty. It has been a minute. Um, I haven't really shared an actual dedicated video since my mom passed away in July of 2024. I can't remember when I posted that update, but I know that it's been a little while. Now, I have been sharing some videos, just little blurbs here and there, just to kind of keep the channel active. So if you've enjoyed those, be sure to hit that like button and let me know. If you haven't watched them, some of them are silly and some of them actually have meaning. But anyways, those are just some fun ones. This is my first, I have prepared. Let's go. I have prepared. I have prayed. I have put it off out of fear and feeling not ready. And here I am. Let's do it. Let's go. All right. So I hope that you can hear me, especially the ones listening to the podcast. I don't have any mic tonight at all because my new one, I don't know how to get it working. I thought that I was on a roll, but can't seem to get it going. And my old one, I do like it, but it picks up every little sound, every scoot, every breath, every little sound, my P's and my T's. So I tried to get one that would help sharpen the audio a little bit. And it is right here in the floor. We'll work on it. We'll get it going. Listen, what y'all been doing? What have y'all been up to? Today was a pretty day. I'm actually recording this Monday night, but today was really a very pretty day. I even had my windows down a little bit. Very pretty day. All right, let's get going. I'm just rambling, but that's me, and that's okay. So here we are. I want to share this with you. When I first started this YouTube channel, and I think the podcast, it was in 2023, I did not know what I was doing. Let's just say, through trial and error, through mostly mistakes, through watching a lot of YouTube channels, through taking lots of courses on interviewing skills, communication skills, storytelling skills, how to launch a YouTube channel, the technical side of it, the editing side, how to vlog, you name it, I have been consuming them. I am hoping for a better run this time, but I'm going to give this disclaimer. I'm still learning. Goodness gracious, I'm still learning, but I'm not going to let it stop me. We're just going to go. We're going. Okay. So with all of that being said, I'm going to share this. We're going to have a few minutes of serious woven in throughout this little, I was going to say through this little talk, but really it's our time together. It's our time together. So we'll have little serious, little funny, little this, little of that. But I can tell you this, I'm definitely different. I am definitely different since July of 2024. As I've already said, that's when my sweet mom went to heaven. And I can tell you that over the past few months, I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about my mom. I've learned a lot about a lot of people, a lot of things. But I think most importantly, no, not I think, I know, most importantly, I've learned even more about God, about His faithfulness, His grace, His strength, His wisdom, um, peace that passes all understanding. I've also learned He can handle my grief. He really can. He's big enough, and He wants to. Anyways, I've just learned a lot. And my hope is to share some of that with you along the way. I'm super excited, as if you can't tell. I'm super excited to be back. So I want to share with you what I hope that this space will look like, both the YouTube channel and the podcast. Okay, Thursdays. That's the day. You want to put it in your calendar. You want to set a reminder. You want to go ahead and set up a text thread, you and your friends. Hey, the new YouTube channel, new YouTube episode and podcast episode comes out today. It's a Thursday. Now, they will be the same. What I share on the YouTube channel on Thursday will also be on the podcast on Thursday. There'll be a little additional sharing on the YouTube channel throughout the week. We'll get into that later. Okay, here we go. So Thursdays, big day, release day. My hope is to be faithful and consistent every Thursday until summer. So probably midsummer, July. I'll take a little break. Just depends on life. You just never know what's going to happen. And I will always be where I'm most needed. So if something occurs, my family needs me, or a friend or something comes up, yeah, that's where I'll have to be. And my hope is the people that are enjoying and part of this little community here that we're building on the YouTube channel and the podcast, y'all understand that because you do the same. You would do the same, right? All right, listen, I'm going to incorporate something. We're going to have some segments because secretly I want to host a talk show. If you don't know that about me, there you go. I do. I want to be a radio DJ and I want to host a talk show. Those are the two things I've always wanted to do, but I wouldn't admit that I wanted to do them until probably a couple years ago, but I've always wanted to do it. So I'm just going to have my own right here. So there'll be a segment about Webster County. It'll be brief probably, but there will be a segment about Webster County. I don't know exactly what this segment will look like. Like it might be recommendations or experiences or memories, but somehow it will tie into Webster County. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share one today about it. So I love Little Webster County. Everyone knows everyone for the most part. Now, I am going to say some people are moving in. I don't know, especially here in Bolaire. There's lots of people I don't know anymore. That's okay. It's okay. Maybe they'll find me here and we can be friends. Okay. Anyways, ooh, there's some road work going on as I go towards Webster. I work in Webster Springs, okay? So that's where I'm at 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. Actually, I travel quite a bit too, but I have to go to Webster Springs to get the vehicle to travel in. Well, right now they're doing some road work in front of Kenny Clevenger's. That's where it was today, anyways. When I went to work, something occurred that I had to come home for a couple hours and then go back to work and then go on some visits. So when I was coming back from work to the house, side note, I'll tell you what happened. Our granddaughter was here. She was really wanting her mama. And I said, what's annual leave for? Let's go. So I came home to play with her for a little bit till she took a nap. And I'm okay with that. That's okay. I have plenty of leave. No one was put out. It's all okay. No harm done. Everything's fine. Okay? Everything's fine. So let me see. What was I saying? Oh, so I'm coming home from Webster Springs. Well, I turn in my driveway, and I don't know if you know where I live or not, but I'm right on the main road, right on the drag, you know, right there where the action is. So I turn in my driveway. Well, this car turns in right behind me that had been behind me in road work. Well, I thought maybe they were going to my neighbor's because we share a driveway with my neighbor. Well, then he pulled in like behind me. Well, I watch a lot of TV. I do. I watch a lot of crime shows. I just do. And I was like, oh, now mind you, this is broad daylight. Literally, I think it's 9 in the morning. I mean, it's early in the morning. So I sat there. Now, Chris is in the house. You know, my neighbor's in his house. I don't, but my mind goes to, you know, the crime shows. Anyways, it shouldn't, but that's just a confession for you. So I get out. I'm like, hello. And he rolled his window down because I'm looking in my rearview mirror. Always be aware of your surroundings. Always be aware of your surroundings. So I'm like, okay, he rolled his window down. Well, I have to get out. So I get out. I'm like, hello, can I help you? He said, ma'am. He was an older gentleman. I'm not going to do an impression. That's not right. But anyways, he said, ma'am, do you know you don't have a brake light one? I said, excuse me? He said, none of your brake lights work. I didn't know that. I, honest to goodness, did not know that. Our daughter had our vehicle a couple days. Lord, I don't know when they went out. That's scary, though, because you drive after dark. And anyways, I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you. I said, I didn't know. I'm so sorry. Then I started apologizing to him. Why? I'm not sure, but I did. But then I thanked him over and over. And he said, now that's why I pulled in behind you. I wasn't sure if you knew or not. I said, Deed, I didn't know. I really do appreciate it. So, good deed. Webster County folks are the best. I didn't know the gentleman. I don't know if he's from here or somewhere else, but that really did help me. So, Chris is taking care of that tomorrow? No, incorrect. He took care of it this evening. It's already done. We have brake lights, which is good. So I was thankful for that. Gotta have a little drink break. I'm drinking some hot chocolate tonight because I'm fighting a little scratch in the throat. So I didn't go to church yesterday. I never want to pass on anything. So if I have active symptoms, I just kind of hold up in my bedroom. Today I felt fine. I didn't have anything at all until just now. So I wouldn't have been around my granddaughter because trust me, I want her healthy and well. She's had a time anyways, just coming off of some ear infections and just stuff, but she's good. She was full force today and I loved every minute of it. Okay. Anyways, so there'll be a Webster County segment. Get excited for that. Now, of course, I'm going to be sharing some funny stories. I really do go throughout the week seeking out humor. One thing that I try to incorporate in my morning prayers is that I will see the goodness of God in the land of the living. I want to see the goodness of God all over. And boy, don't we. Just creation and just kind people and just the goodness of God is everywhere. But I also have been saying, God, stir up my sense of humor. Let me see the funnies. Let me see the funnies. Because if you know me, you know it's my favorite thing. I love to belly laugh. I love to laugh and carry on. I love it. So I'll be sharing some funny stories with you each week, and they'll be truthful. They'll be real life funny stories. Now, if we go a whole week and nothing funny happens for me to share, well, I'm going to be sad. I don't know. I can't imagine going a week without something funny happening. Well, it won't. I know my friends. Something funny will happen. All right. So, of course, we'll do that. And then I want to share more about my faith in a simple way. I just simply want to share a devotional that has ministered to my heart with you, tie in some of my testimony with that, and send you on your way. And here is my hope. I can tell you that there's been many things that I have went through that I truly felt so alone at the time that I didn't know if I was going to make it through. And where there is that feeling, the enemy wants to isolate you. And anytime I say enemy, that means the devil or Satan. The enemy wants to isolate you because he don't want you to hear that there is hope to get through whatever you're going through. So when I was going through some really tough times, when I would hear other people share their testimony of something similar, even online, because there were certain things I was going through that I was desperate to know that there was an other side to it. So I would Google like whatever it was and get some sermons to listen to and testimonies. And then as I would start sharing with some of my closer friends, they're like, yeah, been through that, or my sister went through that, or hey, I had a friend that went through that. So here's my hope in all of this is that I will be a voice that shares some stuff I've went through, so that if you are in the place where you think this is horrible, I'm alone, no one else has ever went through this, there's not an other side to this, I want you to hear my voice, and I want to bring hope to you. And I also want you guys to interact with each other in the comments. Maybe somebody leaves a comment and you can be like, hey, that was me a few months ago, but we made it. Let's be the voice of hope for each other. Because where there's hope, I feel like that just punches shame right in the face. And that's what I want to be. I want to punch shame right in the face, because guilt and shame was a tactic that the enemy used for a long time on me or my family or just different situations and different people that I love. And I just don't want to entertain it anymore. In saying that, let's all remember that myself and this community that I hope that we're building together, we're all made up of imperfections. We all really appreciate, we're really heavy on the grace and the mercy. We're going to miss it sometimes. We're going to get it wrong. We're a tad messy at times. So let's just remember that when we're interacting with each other and listening to me. Like, I may say something and get it wrong. Just give me some grace. And if you have prayed about it and you want to correct me, just do so kindly. I can take kind, constructive criticism. Yeah. So that's the kind of community I hope to build here. Let me look at my notes. Make sure I'm getting everything in. Oh, there'll be guests. I know the podcast listeners are probably thinking, are we going to have any guests? Well, there are going to be some. There won't be as many. When you have a guest, it is very time consuming for myself and the guest. So instead of trying to cram in, I want quality over quantity this time. So there will be some guests. I do not know yet if it'll be like once a month, once a quarter, every other month. I don't know what with rhythm we'll get into, but we'll get into one, because there are people out there just like you and I that are walking around right here with us, and they have made it through, right? They have made it through, and I want them to say so, because I'm saying so. I want people to say so. What is this say so stuff all about? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's go. Let me tell you. I've been real heavy in Psalms chapter 107, verse 2, and in Revelation chapter 12, verse 11. But for now, I want to look at Psalms chapter 107, verse 2, and it says, and this is a psalm that is about God's great works of deliverance. It gets me fired up. So it says in verse 2, let the redeemed of the Lord say so, whom he has redeemed from the hand of the enemy. Well, I'm a say-sower. He has redeemed me from the hand of the enemy. Now in Revelations, I don't want to mess this verse up because I'm not like putting my eyes on it, but it says in chapter 12, verse 11, that we overcome the enemy by the blood of the Lamb, which that was Jesus, and the word of our testimony. So we're going to testify. Amen. I'll just tell you, I'm encouraged by other people. I'm encouraged by them. And then just this week, I heard a speaker, podcaster, I'm not sure, and they were talking about Psalms 23. And it says that we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, going through it. You're going through it. It doesn't say as we dodge it, as we take a detour, as we climb over it. You go through it. And I'll tell you, I like that. That just fired me up. So we're going to talk about that. I will be honest, when I thought that I was going to come back, I thought I'm going to go back and watch all my old videos and critique all my old videos. And I didn't do any of that because I'm not going backwards. God's doing a new thing in me. I'm going forward, so I'm not even looking back. So let's go forward together. Let's go. Now listen, there's some good videos and some great podcast episodes. But I'm just saying, you might hear some of the same information. It won't hurt any of us to hear it again. I had to go back. I had to refresh myself on even some of the areas that I thought that I wouldn't really have to fight again. No, bam, there they were in the ring again. Like, let's go. So, anyways, we'll talk about that along the way. I do want to give a disclaimer. I'm not going to repeat this every single episode, but I'm going to say it. I was going to say repeat it. I haven't even said it yet. I'm going to say it this episode. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor. I've never been to seminary. I'm not a theologian. None of those things yet. I am simply a 48-year-old woman that loves Jesus. I have served him a lot. I have learned a lot. I've made lots of mistakes. And I am just sharing from overflow of what I have learned with him, right? And I'm still every day walking in my relationship with Christ. And I still at times miss the mark. And at times I hit the bullseye. But one thing's for sure, when you draw near to him, he'll draw near to you. And that is what I set out to do each day. So I'm just going to share that with you. Oh, let's see. What else do I have? Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, podcasters, you won't get to hear what I'm about to share unless you visit the YouTube channel, which I highly recommend. I have always I love a day in the life vlog. I really like them. I don't know why I like them, but I do. And I have tried to do a few. They are a little bit time consuming, and the editing, the editing, it takes a little bit. And since we all know that that is not my strength yet, I've been just hesitant to share them. Well, hesitant no more. I love them. So I'm going to practice. I'm going to try to do 2 or 3 day of my lives and vlogs and load them to the YouTube channel just periodically throughout the week. But remember, Thursdays, that's our big day. That's our intentional episode on both the YouTube channel and the podcast. But listen, who doesn't want to see a day in my life? Who does not want to? Well, there's probably plenty, but listen, we ain't gonna focus on them. I just want to share some of me. I want to share how I see things. I want to share parts of the county and the community. I want to share just my day. I think, yeah, my evening, my day, and so you can check those out and hopefully get some laughs out of them. I don't know. If you run into me during the day, you might be in them. Yeah, you might be. But anyway, so that'll be going on the YouTube channel. What else? I don't know. I will say this, though, because I've been asked a couple times. Yeah, there were some interviews that I would have done differently on the podcast and YouTube channel. I tried to upload them to both. Sure, I learned some things, and I might see things a little differently now. But I'll tell you what, we're not looking back because God's doing a new thing in me. But I learned so much from the guests. I really learned so much from each of the guests that, yeah, the takeaways were bigger to me than anything else. So, here we go. Do you remember last season? Because we have a talk show now. Last season, there was a verse I really zeroed in on. Let me look at it. It's in Micah chapter 6, verse 8, and it says, "Do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly, And I shared with you that in a devotional or a different version of the Bible, it broke it down to do good, do right, do truth. And I loved that. But something I needed to clarify that the Holy Spirit actually convicted me on is, when we're in the kingdom of God, sometimes our do rights might look different than the world's do rights. But as long as our truth lines up with the truth, we're okay. We're all right. So that just kind of took on a new meaning for me. I guess maybe I assumed that listeners knew that. Like, as you're out there, you're doing good, you're doing the right thing, and you're doing truth. We want to do it in a God-honoring way. All right? And if you've served Christ for any time at all, you know that there are often, if not always, a lot of the times, the right thing looks like the wrong thing to the world, but it's the right thing in the kingdom. So anyways, there's my clarification. That's it. Going forward. We're going forward. So that's all I got today. I'm going to play around. I'm recording on Spotify for creators, but now this is for the podcast. But now they have me use Riverside Studio, and it has all sorts of options. Well, those are good, but my headphones are laying in the floor, so we all know those options might be a challenge for me, but we're not giving up. We're not giving up. We're not throwing in the towel. So let's go. This is my welcome back. This is my State of the Union podcast and YouTube episode. Let's do it. Season 2, maybe season 3. I don't know, but we're back. We're back after an extended break and lots of life changes. We're back. And let's go. Let's make it better than ever. I'll tell you something I believe God for. I prayed right before I fired this up. I believe that God will bring the right people to this YouTube channel and the right listeners to the podcast. I believe it. And He'll do with this what is honoring to Him and what He wants. All I have to be is obedient, and I get to trust Him with the results. So let's go. Here's what I need from you, though. Here's what I need from you. Here's the CTA, the call to action. Your girl's been taking the courses, okay? When you like an episode or you just want to help a friend out, share it on your socials. Please share it on your social media. Send it to a friend. Hit the thumbs up. Leave me a good review. Interact in the comments. That helps me tremendously. I'm going to promote this a little bit, but God has just really impressed on me to let the listeners promote it as they will. So if you like it, share it on your social media. I hope you do. If you don't, I love you anyways. I do. Stick around. You'll grow to like it. You'll grow to like it. Let's see what else we got. Oh, and each time I'm going to give a recommendation, but it's a little different. It won't be like a product or whatever. It's going to be a recommendation that helped grow me this past week. And sometimes that'll look like parenting. Sometimes maybe a parenting resource, a medical resource. It might be a podcast, might be a book, might be a devotional, might be a restaurant, might be a anything. Might be a sermon. It might be, I don't know what, but it'll be a recommendation for growth, right? That'll promote growth. And yes, I talk with my hands. And I sometimes do videos in my car. Hands free though. I'm not holding my phone. But sometimes I talk with my hands while I'm driving. It's probably not going to change. Okay? It's probably not going to change. So just love me as I am. I'm a work in progress. Let's get it. Let's get it. That's it. I was going to share something else, but I'm not. I'll see you back here next Thursday. I believe that will be March the 20th. And I know you're excited about it because I am too. Thanks for being here. I love you guys.